this, the greatest show on earth. I'm your host, Shanghai Pete. Thank you so much for chilling with us tonight. And we begin, as always, with a recap of the week. Mercifully, it's been rather basic as fuck for the holidays this year. Mostly what we have is just the continuing fallout of stories from last week. Somehow, they all just keep getting increasingly awkward and sad, like buckets of sand falling downstairs. YouTube is continuing as per usual with their purge of unintended content. Their most recent victims include entire channels worth of videos about cryptocurrency of all things. Why crypto? Well, it's unlikely we'll ever know for sure, but my guess would be because knowledge about it is dangerous to the tech oligarchs that control all these platforms. Once again, of course, people are shocked and appalled, still failing to understand somehow that everything from non-mainstream independent creators will eventually be gone if this keeps up. Remember, YouTube didn't want all of this. They wanted stuff like Stranger Things and Game of Thrones, not 10 to 20 minute videos of what in practice is essentially people just talking over video footage you don't even need to watch. We are all unintended content, incredibly difficult to effectively monetize, a logistical nightmare to regulate, and a PR minefield to sell ad space on to companies that are all extremely sensitive to public opinion. This is just your weekly reminder that on a long enough timeline, we'll all be gone. In the interest of clarity, it should be reasserted that by no means are we saying people should just give up or tacitly accept this fate. We just want everybody to be under no illusions about what's really occurring. Alright, moving on, and I can't even believe I'm saying it, but Fallout 76 is fucked up yet again. This week, people have discovered a way to steal other players' fucking inventories. Yep, that's right. People are now having their entire inventories jacked by other players, all because of Bethesda's lazy shit reused and recycled code. I honestly have no idea how it's even possible for this disaster to still be happening. I think from here on out, we're only going to mention Fallout 76 if it manages to function correctly for a full week. I suppose that would then give rise to a new question. What the fuck does that even look like? As we all know, like most AAA live service products, Fallout 76 wasn't designed to be fun and engaging. It was designed to psychologically manipulate people into allowing Bethesda to rob them. So, is this working as intended then? Shit, maybe. It might be functionally unplayable as a piece of gaming software, but since that's not the intent behind Fallout 76, can we really criticize it for that? Honestly, I don't know. It presents itself as just a way for Bethesda to access your bank account, and as far as I can tell, it's been fairly successful at that. I think at this point we have to ask, is Fallout 76 really that bad then? I mean, it's obviously not a game, but it does seem to be good at what it does. You can't blame a toaster for toasting stuff or complain about a lawnmower that cuts grass. I don't know. I was going to point out that some blame should fall on Bethesda for trying to have Fallout 76 even masquerade as a game in the first place, and there's certainly a pile of cocks for doing that, but at this point, if you don't see Fallout 76 for what it is, I'm not sure if that's Bethesda's fault anymore. Even with all the reviews aside, which almost universally panned it for being what it is, not a game, in the year that the game has come out, I don't think even 2 weeks have gone by without there being multiple stories about how fucking broken it is and how it's failing at being a game and succeeding at what it's supposed to be, a debit card Bethesda has in your name. So, if in the face of all that you're still using this product and complaining about how it's taking your money instead of being a good game, I think that's kind of on you, man. I don't know. It's hard to say anymore. I don't even fucking know what we're even looking at half the time in this day and age. So, I mean, anyway, just to be on the safe side, fuck Bethesda, right? Anyway, that's far more than I expected to say about that this week, and certainly more than I ever want to say about it again, but I guess we'll see how things go. Anyways, next on my list of garbage fires that never seems to burn themselves out is perhaps the worst of them all. The agonizing death of childhood wonder and naivete expressed in film form. Star Wars. So, by now we've all heard that, like most of us predicted, Fall of Skywalker is a total shit show. We covered last week how and why shills have turned against it, and talked about how glad we are that it's finally over. What we didn't get to, however, since it was still mostly unconfirmed when we uploaded last week, was how Rotten Tomatoes, a site which operates for the sole purpose of being a vehicle for big studios to promote their cinematic trash, actually appears to have frozen the audience reviews for Fall of Skywalker at 86%. Even right now, it's still at 86% with over 67,000 audience reviews. Aside from the fact that we know the movie is garbage, there's nothing suspicious about that. Except when you notice it's been at 86% since only about 9,000 reviews were in. Yeah, for it to not change at all between 9,000 and 67,000 is a statistical impossibility. I'm sure if enough pressure is applied, they'll eventually address it, likely with a pathetic and obvious lie involving specious claims of a glitch or a system problem. You know, the kind that only affects one movie and always seems to happen conveniently whenever people call out this sort of thing. But, sure, you know, everyone continue talking about this site like it's not owned and operated by the very studios endlessly defended by shill media whenever they're not smearing and attacking you for not liking their movies. Unfortunately, this is basically standard operating procedure nowadays, so not much to see here. Move along. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention The Mandalorian again. We've just seen the finale for the first season, and spoiler alert, it's fucking great. Hopefully, all other Star Wars media follows this example set by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni here. This is the way, bitches. Okay, and now just a few other quick takes before we wrap up this week's recap. First up, Borderlands 3 launched on Stadia with an old, out-of-date version which was missing content and updates because, of course it fucking did. Of course. Congratulations, Stadia. You're already becoming a household name amongst gamers, synonymous with embarrassing, easily avoidable failures and obscene violations of your customers' trust. How long has this shit even been out? This must be some kind of record. Also, because playing retail World of Warcraft makes me want to take a bath with the toaster, I've had some time to try out Final Fantasy 14. Yes, I'm late to the party, I know. But, you know, I've been playing Classic, doing other shit, but I figured it was time to finally check it out. And much to my surprise, it's actually really fucking cool. It might be the best single-player Final Fantasy game ever that somehow is an MMO instead. The interface is kind of weird. I suspect maybe that's because it was also made to work on a console too, but the targeting is very bizarre. Oftentimes you have to click multiple times to select a certain NPC, and maybe it's just because I'm too used to playing WoW and stuff like that, but I find that the way enemies telegraph attacks is very bizarre and hard to read. Sometimes it's completely obvious with a huge orange template, and other times you just get one shot and have no idea what happened. Maybe I'm just a weeb and I'm new to it. Hard to say yet, but so far I'm finding that kind of confusing. I also hate the fucking map system in it. You never have any idea where one zone ends and the other begins, and you don't know how they're related to each other, and you're basically just using the teleport function to zip around the world constantly anyway. I don't know, it's very bizarre, but somehow it kind of works, so I've been having a lot of fun with that. If you're getting a little bored with World of Warcraft or you're looking for another MMO to try, Star Wars didn't work out for you, I would definitely suggest fucking with Final Fantasy 14. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Right now, I'm level 58, working my way through the first expansion, and so far, pretty fucking sick. And I guess that's pretty much it. The rest of the week was all taken up by standard NPC/SJW outrage and fake posturing. Oh, Rose Tico didn't have enough time on screen in the Star Wars movie. The Xbox Series 1 is gonna fuck everything up. Or the Xbox Series X, Xbox, whatever the fuck that stupid thing is called. You know, just a bunch of bullshit. Oh, Anita Sarkeesian back on Polygon. Thanks, boys, for giving her a platform and not letting her just fade away. That's really sick. The NVIDIA CEO is talking shit about the new next-gen consoles, probably because they're using AMD graphics cards and not NVIDIA ones. But hey, you know, what are you gonna do? Also, they're not using 2080 Ti's, so of course they're not gonna be as good. You know, and that kind of makes me think, like, how much better are these consoles really going to be? I feel like not very much. They're not even going to be capable of doing what my PC is doing right now. So I can't really imagine we're gonna see much of an improvement with this generation. Sure, for anybody who doesn't have a 2080 Ti or a gaming PC, a console is a great option. No shade. Awesome. Do, you know, play games on whatever the fuck you want to play games on. I don't give a shit. But I guess what I'm really saying is that Microsoft and Sony are gonna have to come with some pretty serious fucking exclusives to get me to pay attention to the, what is this, the 9th? I don't even know what fucking generation this is, who cares? Just show me some cool games, motherfuckers, or I'm not buying your shit. Oh, and lastly for real this time, if you needed any more evidence that the new Witcher show on Netflix is actually really fucking great, look no further than all the fucking Steam numbers showing everybody flocking back to that fucking game. Shit, I'll admit, I was doing the same thing. I mean, granted, I probably played it for like an hour and then got bored. But, fact remains, great show, great game. And I only reiterate this simply because so many gaming YouTubers, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, get shit for always being negative or whatever. And you know, and I've always said, I'll be negative if the shit that's out there is fucking bad. I'll be positive if there's good shit out there, and The Witcher is some of the good shit, so we're fucking talking about it. Let it never be said that I am only toxic. Anyway, that about wraps up our weekly recap. Thank you so much for chilling with us tonight. As always, we love you today. We love you all the way. Please stay tuned for our main story coming up next, and we'll see you next week.